Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sitting. It's getting a little bit colder here in the southern hemisphere, so I've got my jersey on as we head off into winter, and those viewers in the northern hemisphere go into their summer. I hope you're enjoying your spring break in the north, and as we head into sort of autumn and a bit of winter and cold. Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about mentors and the need for them. Is there a need for them? What can they teach us? And why is there such a proliferation of them out there at the moment? So we as humans are drawn more to hysteria, bad or good, but generally more bad than good. And that's why we have a lot more scary thumbnails or scary news articles than of good news ones. As an example, I can give you the war on terror. You were more likely to be killed by a shark attack than you were to be killed by a terrorist. Now, the same can be said for the entrepreneurs or the so-called entrepreneurs on YouTube and many other channels around, who are selling you the idea of bridging the inequality gap by giving you quick fixes. So right now we have a society built on what we want, we generally get. So it becomes quite obvious that with this instant gratification need that we have become so used to in our lives, that it is a simple step for the next progression of the internet entrepreneur to take root. What value are these idiots bringing you? What good information are you gathering from people like this? This is not mentorship. This is not someone selling you an idea of something that's going to better your life. Because something that betters your life, one, takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and two, it takes a mindset of being able to change for the better. All they're really doing is selling you on the false rhetoric, leading to the outflow of your cash and, more importantly, the outflow of your time. Now, a lot of this talk at the moment is surrounding trading, and I know I keep going back to this, but it is such an important topic to discuss right now, because trading if this is where we are heading, with all our collective minds working towards trying to predict the next market movement and listening to the gods of trading at the moment in order to close the inequality gap, then what is going to happen to the general production of our society? I mean, basically what we're leading to here is we're leveraging more than likely borrowed money on the hopes that something changes in the market for the better, whereas statistics show us that these things are statistically not going to happen. Okay, so I'm not going to say categorically that it is something that doesn't work for everybody, because of course it does. It works for some people. But statistics show that after 2 to 3 months of consecutively losing money, most traders just stop trading. So what happens to these traders? Yes, they've lost a little bit of money, maybe they've gained a little bit, but they then turn back to what they were doing before, which is either as an employee, which is generally a very good thing, which gives you the security for your family, a day-to-day meaningful existence in terms of getting up, going to work, making a decent wage in return. And I know that this is a perfect world scenario. A lot of people don't feel that way. The other half of society go back to sort of being the ones who employ those employees. Now, there are real benefits to both sides of these, and I don't make a distinction in class or income between the two. Employees are just as important as employers. The only reason, of course, why I talk about entrepreneurs is because that's pretty much the only life I've ever known. And again, like, I've had no major massive success in being an entrepreneur, and I can't give you any pointers as to ensuring your success or sell you a course to help you get there. But what I can tell you about is a lot of the mistakes that I've made along the way, in the hopes of making you not make the same mistakes. So having said all that, let's go to what the definition of an entrepreneur is. The definition, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is a person who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit. Okay, so that's a rather decent and easy to use definition of things, but because this is ethical finance, let's take that definition to a more holistic view on what I would define as an entrepreneur. So a person who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in the hope of profit, striving to make a decent contribution to the lives of himself, his employees, his clients, and the environment as a whole, understanding that today's decisions make a real and identifiable impact on tomorrow's world. So there is my definition of a world-changing entrepreneur. And the truth is that every single one of us can live up to that ideal. I know it's idealistic, but we can live up to that ideal by understanding that we just need to listen to the information that we know intrinsically is true, not chasing the quick buck, but understanding that a business is a lifelong journey, just like having a child is, and needs to be nurtured and grown into something that can be supportive for us and our community as a whole. Advice which we intrinsically know is true, which contain words like hard work, dedication, passion, planning, time, and education. None of these terms can make you millions today, but they can set a perfect foundation for a really strong and community thriving business, no matter what size they are. Just imagine the world tomorrow if all businesses today worked under that definition that we gave. We wouldn't be spending nights laying awake worrying about our children or our grandchildren's future. We would simply know that it was going to be okay. Now again, I know that this is an idealistic view, but history has shown that I'm right in this, and we are right if we are doing this on a daily basis. Great companies around the world, small and large, thrive on this exact premise. So let's take two examples of two different companies, both equal and perfect in their own rights. So we talk about Tesla, which is obviously a much larger company than the second one I'm going to talk about, but Tesla taking on the carbon emission car market and what it appears to be winning at the moment. Also taking on electricity supply and storage, and hopefully that will win in the future. It could definitely give us a much better way of capturing, storing and using electricity for the future, which will definitely save our planet or help in doing so. And let's go to the second business that I want to talk about, is just your local restaurant which you frequent more than any other. Look, I know that we've been in a pandemic, no one's really frequenting too many restaurants at the moment, but let's just imagine that there was no pandemic at the moment. And if you cast your mind back to a year and a bit ago when you were going to restaurants, what lovely days that those were, and enjoying a nice cup of coffee and a good meal. Why were you going to that restaurant? So yes, there would be a convenient aspect to that restaurant, say it was close to where you worked or it was on your way home from work. There are also intangible reasons why you would go to that restaurant, like atmosphere. How did you feel when you walked in the door? There are emotional reasons why you go to that restaurant. There is the friendliness of the staff, the familiarity of the people who work there, and the warmth shown by the servers that serve you week in, week out, or day in and day out, depending on how regularly you go there. Now, both these companies epitomize the real essence of entrepreneurship, where caring for each other on a micro level leads to the caring of a society or a community on a macro level. So the point I'm trying to make here is, let's be those entrepreneurs, the ones that are changing the world by taking on decisions, no matter how big or small their impact is, on what's going to happen in the world tomorrow. Those impactful decisions don't have to be massive, like Tesla's re-evaluating of carbon emissions in cars. They can be as small as looking after your employees and making sure that you're using recycled products, or simply making a positive change in your community, bringing back the feeling of humanity and growth together. So basically, let's just make sure that the impact that we make today is good on tomorrow's world. Okay, so let's get back to the original question. Do you need a mentor? The short answer is no, you don't. There's enough information out there and you intrinsically know what is right and what is wrong. However, having said that, if you do find a mentor out there, please make sure that they live up to the ideals of what we've set out as a holistic entrepreneur. Just do yourself a favor and don't get sucked into the idea of the quick and easy buck by those so-called internet entrepreneurs. Those are not entrepreneurs, those are scammers. Stay away from them, keep your money, and work towards a better tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please, if you can just do one more thing, just hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're going to be talking about a lot more entrepreneurial things in the future, and I really look forward to giving you whatever information I can, and I really do hope that it helps. Anyway, I'll see you in our next video, which will be on Friday. Have a great week. Bye.